there's been a lot of things going on lately, and let me just size it up. Basically, it's what I've been figuring out for a while. And a real quick side note, I've been watching a lot of like King of the Hill lately, and like for the last few weeks and whatnot. And it just came out a few days ago that, you know, maybe about a week ago or so, that King of the Hill might be in a reboot. It's staying on top of trends. The economy is in desperation. We're so close to war. The thing is that we're building up to a climax. The world is a stage. We need to realize that. Nuclear war is not going to happen, because any retaliation against any rogue nation, I'm not saying a superpower, I'm saying a rogue nation, for instance, Iran is a rogue nation, North Korea is a rogue nation, excuse me, the only thing we have to worry about is the allies of that rogue nation. You know what they're going to do. But if the North Korea launches a nuclear missile, we have had the capabilities to take those things out of the air long ago. There's an Atari game called Missile Command. That's kind of like a war simulator. Why is it that there's so much money going into video games? Because a lot of the evolution of the military is autonomous. And when a person is playing a game where, you know, it's infrared in a drone, and you can switch from, you know, black hot to white hot, it's training. It's adapting. Anyways, so first off, nuclear war is not going to happen. What is happening is that we're reaching a climax to where the economies are totally disrupted. Why is it that Trump is trying to get all this military spending out of the way? The military is basically an extension of the United States borders. Declare bankruptcy. I mean, Trump, like well, I shouldn't say just Trump, but the administration, the government is thinking about getting involved in Venezuela. All this war. War has been money. War made money back in World War I. World War II, we kind of broke even. Thereafter, well, World War II basically allowed us to get to this point, because we haven't changed our economy, because the military-industrial complex is too powerful. There's so much seismic activity going on. Volcanoes are becoming more active. The earthquake, there's earthquakes around the areas of this volcanism. Everyone can see that there's geoengineering going on with the chemtrails, and seriously, like, check it out. Like, it's real Nikes. But the sun is also changing, And that's because we're going into a solar minimum. And we're getting ready for a global cooling. And just because that big iceberg broke off Antarctica, there's been a tremendous amount of ice accumulation there. And go back to and look at Colonel Byrd's expedition to the Antarctic and check out the warm water that was there. There's a lot more going on than what people are prone to realize. Not to mention all the high-profile people that have been going down to Antarctica. Speaking of high-profile, there's been a lot of high-profile deaths. It's come out that the leaks from the DNC, it was an eternal event. And well, there's a correlation with oh my god. Apparently I've got a lot on my mind, but what's his name? It will come to me. I've spoken about him. Seth Rich. There we go. There's a correlation with the DNC internal leak in Seth Rich murder. There's been a lot of suspicious activities going on, and not to mention the economies. I mean, look what's happening in Venezuela. Canada, their real estate is in trouble. Chicago, I'm not too sure what's happening. I haven't checked up on it, but I think it's in about its third year without a budget. The student loan bubble is just increasing. And a nice little tidbit of information on that. Part of the reason why a student gets these loans is either a cosigner, mom and pops, or basically good grades. And good grades are basically a banking institution will a cosigner plus the good grades, and that's going to be like, oh well. And what happens when that child messes up? And it's a cacophony of mischief. What I'll leave out. Oh, yeah. Check out some of the food shortages that are going on. And that goes back down to the weather. And all right. I can't think of anything else at this point. There's so much on my mind, but I just figured I'd check in and just give you all a sit rep about the crazy events that are going on. Not even current pop culture. All right. Not bad. Just over 9 minutes. Take care, be safe, be kind, and stay strong.